What's go What's going on, guys? Can you guys hear me? Okay, there you go. Hey, guys, just wanted to let you guys know there's a lot going on right now in the Middle East, in Israel and Lebanon. Some big upticks in bombings happening tonight. It is nighttime right now over there in Israel and Lebanon. So expect a very big increase and escalation. I know that Iran's been talking about their retaliation once again tonight, today. So I think they're getting very close now to doing something. But you're seeing the escalations in retaliations now from Hezbollah. And the statement that Iran made was pretty chilling. But I just wanted to show this to you guys really quickly before any other problems happen that would affect our own grid, because I'm just going to tell you once again, communications are a target of what is happening, whether it's the wars and the stuff going on in Russia right now. They're now telling Americans, because American mercenaries are in Kursk inside of Russia. They're saying that if the Americans don't get out, that there's going to be consequences. Okay, this is what Putin said to America: direct threat and communications to the diplomats there, to send to Washington D.C. To the administration. These are threats that we should all be looking at. On top of the fact that they know it's NATO that's attacking them inside of Russia. So these escalations are happening all around. Also, a huge increase in planes coming into Taiwan from China. Okay, so people are saying that this is going to escalate all at once, right? Everything's going to start happening so that China can make their moves, Russia's going to make their moves. North Korea. Okay, so they're planning a lot of drills right now in South Korea for biological and nuclear fallout. So this is all happening right now in South Korea. So it's like everybody's running to get ready for the outbreak of global war. Literally, this is what it looks like. And that's why I'm telling you guys, and that's why I've warned you guys. I'm not just making these statements and telling you guys to get ready and providing you guys links to get stuff that you need for no reason. What was really interesting was this recent broadcast that we did, and I posted the links in the description below, in the videos here. Hopefully they won't get taken down, but you got to get over to those links and listen to the broadcast that we did last night on Rumble. I'll post them again here, but I'm going to let you listen to what Steve Quayle said about this topic, and this has to do with the juice. So listen closely to what he's saying, okay? Here we go.
And we're going to talk about today the day America comes to a complete halt. HALT. And now, Eric, if you put this up, I want people to see this. This is from the Blazing Press, and I'll read it, and let's leave it up there. And this is somebody who had a dream about forced vaccinations. Important. Sheriff Insider exposed all this about the next pandemic and got fired. FEMA and Homeland Security doing training exercises for medical martial law for the next pandemic. And I would say plandemic, scamdemic. All communications will be cut off. Public will need to rely on emergency communications.
All right. So if you haven't heard this broadcast that I just did on Rumble, Steve Quayle made mention of it on Hagman's show, but it has to do with the cessation of communications for the purpose of bringing in their new order. America is in the way at this point, but this is a part of their plan. And the guy that was the sheriff on that broadcast, if you've listened to all the details going back a few months, half a year ago, a lot of what he had said was in that FEMA meeting actually has happened, or DHS. And those things are actually happening and have happened, and even some of those things happened in the last week. The other predictions that he has now for October 4th are chilling. And if that happens, then yeah, you're definitely, this is why we've told you to get ham radio. We got the ham radios, we got the shortwave radio. So Steve continues to go on here talking about shortwave and ham. So if you're really looking at protecting your communications, your ability to find out information, your ability to tap into signals all around the world, if you do have a ham radio, you can pick signals up off the atmosphere. It bounces off the atmosphere, and you can listen to signals from around the world. Now, you can communicate locally, and you can actually broadcast if you needed to in an emergency, but there is bands on there that you can communicate to your loved ones on that is legal. Even the legal reasons for not communicating if you don't have a license are really, I mean, they say nobody's ever been prosecuted for actually having, picked up a ham radio and said something on it. To triangulate you and to try to prosecute you or get you in trouble. But in an emergency, it is legal to broadcast on ham. Like if you're in trouble or you're, stranded somewhere, you're going to die. Yeah, you can pick up a ham radio and tell people where you're at. You're not going to get in trouble. But like I said, there's nobody that's ever been prosecuted for even using it, even when they didn't or weren't supposed to use it. But the thing is with a ham radio is you can pick up a signal from hundreds of miles away, and you can listen in on what people are saying. So if you happen to have a loss of communications, you can still do that. Same thing with shortwave radio. You're going to want to definitely pick up on a shortwave radio. We got the shortwave radios in stock as well. So we have stocked up on the ham radios and the shortwave. These are Bofang radios. They are the best radios that you can get with long antennas. So we actually have gotten you the long antenna as well, so you can pick up even farther signals and communicate between loved ones. And depending on the topography, it can go up to 50 miles. I mean, these are pretty long range, but the topography is very important. You have to understand the topography is what causes these signals to break up if you're in a valley or something like that. But like I said, they do pick up signals off the atmosphere. So links to those devices are in the description below. But yeah, I think we should all be preparing. Also, if you want to check out that broadcast we did on this topic last night, the links are also in the description.
Now available at packingheat.co, packingheat.co.
All right, guys. Also, this is Robert right now. I'm just going to get back to what I was telling you guys about what's happening in the Middle East. This is just an update on what's happening and how things are upticking big time. I did wake up this morning with a sense that something's going to happen. I know Kamala Harris yesterday said that she said the same phrase. Remember that phrase that I got and I shared it on the, a few weeks. Well, it was a few months or a month or so, or when all this stuff began. I'm not sure of the date now, but I posted it on Telegram and I said I had this phrase when I woke up that Israel has the right to defend itself, right? And it was that day that I realized, like, when I woke up, I told my wife, I'm like, you know what? I think something's going to happen because I got that phrase that reminds me of October 7th. And sure enough, that was the day that bomb came and killed all those children, right? Supposedly the children out there in the baseball field or something, soccer field. And that was the initiation of the operations of the Israelis against all of the major targets, and they unleashed hell after that. That was the same day that I woke up and had that, and that's why we're where we're at now. The escalation began right then. Okay, so she says the same phrase again, because Kamala Harris said that. She's the only one that said the phrase, Israel has the right to defend itself, a few weeks back, and she said it again last night. So there's a lot happening, guys. I've looked at so much information here recently in the last 24 hours that's telling me that there's something about to go down. And by just the things that I had when I woke up this morning, I felt it, I sensed it. Then the things that I read today, I'm getting the feeling that it's about to hit the fan. And when it does, it's going to escalate pretty quickly, and it's going to probably encompass other things that are happening that are going to, it's going to kind of set things off, like whether it's the Russia thing or the Taiwan issue or the North Korea issue, or even here our domestic problems that we're having politically here, it could literally ignite some unrest here, big time unrest. Not just what we saw in 2020 or 21. They're also talking about the supply chain going down. Trump said it the other day that the supply chain is broke. But I'm going to tell you what, when these things begin to happen, products are not going to come in. Your gas prices are going to go up. Tankers are not going to be able to transit through the straits. The things that are happening right now, did you see all the just into the last 24 hours, all those explosions of oil refineries? There was one down, I think, down in South America where we get a lot of our oil from. These are sabotages. These are things that are going on that are sabotaging. They also hit one in Russia today, too. There was a big, huge, massive oil refinery explosion in Russia. This is war, guys. We are in the middle of World War III, and people don't realize it. People have no clue how bad this is about to get. And that's why I tell people, you better get squared away. You better do it now before everything really hits the fan, because when it hits the fan, resources will disappear very quickly off the shelves. Everything will disappear. So if you're going to get things, get them now. And I say that especially locally, but also online, because already shipping is slowing down online. I've noticed it. I do a lot of shipping. Shipping is slowing down. So who knows like what the containers are, or what's happening with containers right now coming across the ocean. I know that container costs have gone up, and it's like I saw the charts parabolic, going straight up per container. It's gone up thousands of dollars. It's getting closer to the rates right before the supply chain crunch in 2020-21. Remember when all that happened and the shipping containers were like skyrocketed in price? I mean, like 4, 5, 6, 10 times higher than what it would normally cost to send a container across the ocean. It's now skyrocketing once again. It's going back up. And so that's another indicator too, because they're shutting down and they're stopping cargo ships, not to mention the oil tankers. I think we're in a big, huge, this is going to be so bad. And I'm trying to tell everybody I can, because I feel like people need to have a heads up. They need to understand what's going on, not just having somebody tell them, but they need to see it themselves, because that's the only reason why people prepare, or why they get themselves ready, or they see the need to change things, because they see it. It's not that somebody can't just tell you and you can be like, oh, whatever, man, that's just his opinion, or maybe he's just afraid, or maybe he's just saying stuff because he's got wrong information. No, you have to know. You got to know. You got to know in order to get stuff ready. Otherwise, you're just going to be a part of the crowd that is running to the store all at the same time, fighting over that last bit of toilet paper, or whatever, that last little bit of chicken that's on the shelf, or whatever else. It will happen suddenly, and it will happen quickly. It's not going to happen really slow. This isn't going to be something, I can, prices are going up, I can kind of see it. Well, I guess I can get out there now and do it. But no, when everybody sees it, that's when everybody runs. It's like an instinct. It's like a herd mentality. It's like a panic. You know how panic flows through a crowd? Once somebody starts panicking, it spreads. It's like palpable. It's like fear grips everybody all at the same time. You don't want to be caught in that. You want to have already gotten yourself ready before that happens. But a lot of people don't want to, prepare, because they don't want to spend money, or they're not sure if it's going to happen. This is why you have to know what's coming. You have to be able to see what's coming and calculate and tell yourself and your loved ones, don't get caught in this. Let's get ready now before it hits. Same thing that happened in 2020. And I always bring this up because it's an illustration that we gave everybody a heads up on the disappearing PPE. We gave you a 2 to 3 week. It was probably more like 3 weeks or more before the prices went up. We also told people before the food disappeared off the shelves. We gave you like a 2-week warning, and then all of a sudden the food disappeared. Remember? And then it was an everything shortage. Everything started being short. Chips, couldn't get your vehicles. None of the vehicles were out. You couldn't get computers. All the chips were being held back. Prices were just going up on everything. But we gave everybody heads up. We said the food's going to disappear. and the PPE is going to, and people were like laughing at me. They were making fun of me, telling me I was a fear monger, just like some people are today right now. There's been a few people that are like, you're just trying to do this. And I told everybody, I go, I'm buying masks. I'm buying masks right now. I stockpiled masks. Don't you remember? I stockpiled masks when everybody was laughing at me. I was buying masks. It's like, because nobody saw it, or a lot of people didn't see it. Now, there was a lot of you out there that did. A lot of you out there listened to what I said. You saw what I was seeing, and you went out and you bought your mask. Not to say that the mask really even helped, but still, the prices did go up from like 25 cents a mask to like $20 a mask. You remember? I mean, so when I went out and bought the mask, I was telling people, hey, I'm buying masks. You should go out and buy masks too, when they're cheap. And so nobody listened until they were all gone. 80% of the people that listened to me didn't do anything. There was probably even less than that, or more than that. I would say 80% of the people that heard me telling them to get masks didn't do it. There was probably about 20% that did. And they bought their masks at 25 cents a piece. But the ones that didn't, well, they came back around and I said, well, we need some support on our channel. You need some masks. We got them here for $5 a piece. You remember? It's like, here you go. And we sold a lot of masks, which kept us on the air because we weren't getting a lot of donations. People don't donate, most people don't donate. And so we're doing a lot of this work and we're thinking, man, we got to have some means of support. So I was thinking outside the box. I'm like, okay, well, this is the Lord showing me this. Nobody's listening. So I'm just going to buy masks. And then I'm going to turn around when everything's gone. I'm just going to sell them on my channel. And literally thousands of masks we sold, thousands, because we stockpiled thousands of masks. Literally, I think I probably had 10,000 masks. Yeah. And like I said, I did it just because not only that I'm warning you and telling you guys what's coming, I'm doing the same thing now. Get ready, do what you got to do now, prepare yourself, and also support the voices out there like Blazing Press that are giving you the heads up. Who else is out there telling you this? Nobody. Who else was out there telling you in 2020 that this was going to affect everybody? We were the only channel on YouTube. There might have been one other channel that was small that was saying something, but we were like the only channel in January of 2020 on YouTube warning everybody. I wasn't even just on YouTube. I was on Vimeo, and I was telling everybody, this is going to be terrible. This is going to affect America. I was warning everybody. And I stopped listening to Trump. I totally focused on what was going on. I couldn't believe Trump wasn't addressing what I was seeing. And I went on and on for January, going into February of 2020, telling everybody what was happening, what was coming. Nobody was really covering it. And then in February, people started listening. Then in February, people started kind of hearing what was going on. Then they started kind of worrying. Like in the middle part of February. And then as it got closer to March, and then we got into middle of March, that's when it all hit, was middle of March. Middle of March is when it all hit the fan. And but we gave you guys like almost a 2-month heads up. So I'm doing the same thing. I have been doing the same thing. I've been warning you guys for weeks now, months, about what I see coming. And I'm going to tell you what, it will come. And this is going to be an effect on our economy and upon our supply chain, and upon our gas prices. And if you can even get gas at a certain point, yes, I think it's going to be that bad. I think it's going to be that bad. I really do. And all I can say is this is why I keep telling people, hold on to the Lord. Get your heart right with God. Make sure everybody you know is right with the Lord, because this might be an event that causes, terrible things. And we're talking about war. Yeah, it's not going to just leave America alone. This is not going to be just happening in Europe and happening in Russia. This is probably most very likely, and Putin even said the same thing. This ain't going to be just contained to the north, to Europe. And this is not going to be just happening in the East, in the Middle East or whatever. This is coming to North American continent. He made that threat. And I take Putin at his word. Okay. I don't in any way minimize what Putin says. I listen to what he says. because he's a very influential and very powerful country, one of the superpowers, and you want to take, and then all on top of that, all the Muslims that are in America that probably dislike what we're doing, and they're just sleeping right now, but they're awakening. When you talk about the sleepers, they're awakening. They're awakening, and what are they going to do when all this hits the fan? You got Muslims in your city. You got Muslim populations in your city. You better be thinking about how that's going to affect you. All right. But anywho's, this is just my little 2 cents. We also need some support on our channel. So if you guys want to donate or support, whatever you want to do, buy something from our store, hit the donation links. We do have a donation thing, I think. There probably is a donation link down there too. But keep us on the air, guys, because we definitely need your help right now. All right. So God bless you. Have a great day and get yourself ready in every way with the Lord and everything else that you need. Okay. Do it now. Don't wait. And we'll talk to you again soon. I'll be doing another broadcast probably tonight sometime. If something really hits the fan, I know that the Kumta alerts are going off the charts right now. There's lots of missiles going in Israel right now. So if this turns into a full-on attack, we definitely will go live with everything. But in the meantime, just hang tight, and we'll be back with you with another update on news probably later afternoon. All right. Talk to you soon.